guys, today I'm test riding the BMW G310 GS finally. I'm so damn excited for this. So first things first, the seat height. It's got a fairly high seat height to allow for a higher ground clearance. It's got a 19-inch front wheel on the front. Despite this, I'm 6 foot tall and I can comfortably stand on this, unlike my KLR 650 where I'm tiptoeing. Let's start it up. Let's have a listen to the exhaust. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the idle sound on this thing. It kind of sounds like a rickshaw, but when you rev it, it sounds like the BMW G310R, which is what this is based off. The same engine. Alright, let's go for a ride. Okay, woo. And this begins the official test ride / review of the BMW G310 GS, which I've been waiting for a good year to ride. Luckily, acceleration is good, just like the BMW G310R, which I'd been fortunate enough to ride about 6 months ago, and that's got the same engine as this one. Traffic signal is not changing because it can't detect this motorcycle's weight, because it weighs a mere 170 kilos. Finally! So that the traffic signal back there could not detect the weight of this bike. It's too light. It's a mere 160 kilograms. It took so long. And there's another thing I love about this bike, the ABS. It comes standard with ABS, with the option at the press of this button to disable the ABS if you want to hit those off-road trails. Now this motorcycle, the engine, 311 cc's, single cylinder, that produces 34 horsepower at 9,500 RPM. It's got electronic fuel injection, and let me just say, man, first impression of this bike is great. Like, the seating is so comfortable. My ass fits perfectly in the little groove that is the front driver's seat, and it's got a great rack at the back for your pillion passenger to hang on for dear life. And let me just say, the throttle response is great. The throttle's so smooth. The bike just feels like really stable and steady on the road. Now, I'm sad that I can't comment on its off-road performance, but that's because there are no off-road trails around here. I'm in the city. This bike is great for city riding. It's meant to be ridden anywhere you please. Does this bike have any disadvantages? I don't think so. It is the baby version of the BMW bigger GS motorbikes, and they've done a great job on this one. I do like the exhaust sound when you're riding it. It sounds quite sporty, but when you're standing and it's idling, it doesn't sound that pleasant at all. Just have a listen. Oh, that's right, you can't really hear it. Oh. Traffic lights everywhere up in this. One thing I don't like about the bike is the position, because it's an adventure tourer, right? So obviously when you're going off-road, you have to have the ability to stand up on the foot pegs. And the handlebars are quite low on this, so when you stand up on the foot pegs, you're kind of like kind of in a squatting position. You can't fully stand up like you can on my KLR 650. I love the display. It's got everything standard on it. It's all digital. It tells you the speed, the time. It's got a gear indicator. It's got a fuel indicator. It's basically got everything that you would expect for one of these motorcycles to have. I'm sure this bike would be great for lane filtering. The problem is these lanes are so narrow that it's physically impossible to go between lanes. Welcome to Sydney. It's got a 6-speed gearbox, allowing it to have a top speed of around 145 kilometers per hour, which is like 90 miles per hour. Now that's a pretty great top speed for a 313cc single-cylinder motorcycle. And that top speed, right, is something that the KLR 650 actually struggles to keep up with. And not just that, it's got an acceleration on this bike from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6 seconds, 5 to 6 seconds, depending on how skilled the rider is. It's pretty impressive. You know what, it's a great package, this bike. It's got ABS, it's got a good acceleration, it's got a good top speed, it's comfortable, it's got great suspension, and it's got touring capability, it's got city riding capability, it's got great fuel economy as well. Pretty sure you can get about 35 kilometers to the litre. That's what I've heard. That's quite impressive. That's a way better fuel mileage than my Kawasaki KLR 650, which consumes like 1 litre per 20 kilometers travelled. Yeah guys, so I just want to apologise that this was actually a pretty test ride, and the reason being is because, look, I did all my research, I learned everything about the bike, I knew what I wanted to talk about, I did my preparation, so can't blame myself here, although I'm usually quite harsh on myself. I'm going to have to blame this ridiculous traffic. I've spent half the time riding like stopped at traffic lights. So it hasn't been an enjoyable test ride at all. Hasn't really been enjoyable for me, and I'm sure it hasn't been enjoyable for you. So I'm really sorry about that. It's okay, I'll make it up to you guys. I'll buy this bike early next year, and then you'll have many videos to come on riding this motorcycle. How's it going? Oh mate, it's excellent. It just got released like last week. So I just got it from just test riding it. It just came out, didn't it? Yeah, it did, yeah. It's really good, man. I like it, otherwise I'd be riding that. I love them, but mate, you can take this anywhere. So. You do reviews, don't you? I do, yeah. Yeah, I see you. Oh, yeah, yeah. Your face. Oh, mate, finally, the first person to recognise me. I recognise you, because you did the 310R. Yeah, I did, and now I'm reviewing this one right now. Now? Yeah. You don't mind being on YouTube, do you? I don't care, man. Oh, okay, that's awesome. Mate, you're a legend. Well, you should send me a message on YouTube, man. Okay. We'll go for a ride, alright? 100%. Okay, you live around here? No, I live up. Yours are cool, man. Oh, thanks, bro. Thanks, man. It's hard to like get a hand on these bikes, though. I'm probably going to buy this one, though, so... Oh, that's cool. Yeah, definitely. Alright, catch you later, bro. That's funny. That's like the first person that's recognised me on the go from my YouTube channel. Like, I'm a small YouTuber, so, you know, I'm pretty humble about it. Obviously, people aren't going to be recognising me all the time, but I mean, first guy to recognise me, and he's just like, hey, you do YouTube reviews, eh? And I'm like, oh yeah. Mate, it's small world. That's hilarious.